It's lights out and we're away here at Melbourne Park for round 1, Division 1 of CTC Season 2. FVR Nadi Perez with a strong start. He's not overtaken just yet. The OP guy on the inside is Robbie on the inside, and he's actually going to make the move done. The McLaren down to P2 now. OP Tim is right on his rear and he's looking to gain positions. MLT Griffey is down to P19. An instant there with 2 drivers involved, NLR and MNT, as now the OP driver pulling alongside the McLaren, trying to get past in this first sector, but he can't make it work, and he'll be looking to keep close and keep within that slipstream on this long straight leading into the second sector. And we can see the Mercedes, sorry, is going to go on alongside nearly the AlphaTauri. Is going to go on the inside for this next corner. In the inside goes Villar Mano. Is he going to make the move work? Into the right now. He's certainly made it work, and he's made it work perfectly for VIR, and that is the German team now up into P3. And what a debut here for Villar Mano after this first lap. Now heading into the third sector. He needs to keep it clean. He needs to keep it composed, as that's OP Tim doing the opposite of what I've just mentioned. He's down to P13, P15, and he's just going to keep dropping with that spin.
We didn't mention them much in qualifying, but I think we're going to see plenty of them in the Grand Prix. But you can see Nardi Perez gets all out of shape out of turn number 2 and has a spin as he goes around and tumbles down the order, and he's now even going to drop behind OP Tim. As it usually is with these high levels of competition, we're not going to see too much overtaking, although as I say that, Talent Factory Kian goes to the outside line of GL Chris as they head through turn number 9. That's a brilliant move from the Ferrari driver as he moves himself up into a top 6 position, as he's right behind his teammate who's looking for a move on his old rival of NLR, or Talent Factory's old rival of NLR. Rudy Hullett is driving for them this season, and Brad is trying to go around the outside at turn number 12, and he can't get that move done quite yet. Rudy Hullett defending his positions quite decently there.
So OP Tim now getting a 3-second time penalty. OP Tim all the way down in P13, 3 seconds away from the nearest driver, and actually that's VIR Anru, and 2 OP drivers really separate there, as well as the VIR guys, but NLR Rati Khalid overtaken finally by Bradders, and I just missed that there, as NLR Rati Khalid now is going to look for a move down the inside. No, he's not, into the final sector. He's got TF Kian to worry about instead. The fiery Red Bull, is not able to defend from TF Kian or Bradders. The yellow flags now, that's for Haas, and that's for Daniel V28, I think, on pit entrance. It's TF Kian now, down to P7, that's because of battle with NL Rati Khalid and GL Chris, and now QRT Carvis is involved directly. Mateo also getting himself involved, a mistake from TF Kian, and he's all the way down to P9 now. The Alpine passed, MNT Nico, he's passed now on the outside, and now what is the inside for him, as QRT Twist is going to look to get past once again. I think TF Kian, he has a bit of damage, but he's really being put under pressure by all these drives, and now the midfield is so bunched up. TF Kian now passed by VIR Anru and by QRT Twist. 2 and 1 for those two, as now TF Kian is really down in P12, and I'm sure he's going to be super confused. One mistake is all it took for him to drop down from P5 to P12.
There's a lot of drivers, if not the entire field, has now come in for the medium compounded tire. The only driver to stay out is sadly Talent Factory Kian, who seems to be struggling with his connection. He's disconnected from the session. Hopefully he can rejoin quick enough. We are now focused on the battle between the top 2. OP Robbie's less than 2 tenths behind, but he's cut turn 10 just a little bit too much, and he's got himself a 3-second time penalty in this race. He uses a lot of his ERS to try and go around the outside of Kian, but he can't. Not just yet. TF Kian has got such great straight line speed. OP Robbie can't find a way past, but he's got a much better exit out of turn 2 with the better grip. He's using all of his ERS down the straight, but you can see the difference in straight line speed. Late braking from both drivers as Kian tries to force him wide. VIR Marlin is trying to go around the outside, and he almost makes a double move, but Kian ends up losing 2 positions because of that. That could have been beautiful from the VIR driver as Kian lets his teammate go as he heads into turn number 6 and 7, and you can see with mistakes starting to come through, we're seeing 3-second time penalties, we're seeing overtakes, and the drivers are starting to get to that phase where they really want to make every move and make it count.
Yeah, definitely the second stint, and my oh my, what greatness has it produced. And now TF Kian going all the way off onto the gravel trap here in the second sector. now 2/10 away, using all of his ERS. Could this be a move into this corner? After the long straight, he's going to be looking for the outside line. He's going to back out of it in the last second. He forced the AlphaTauri onto an awkward line there, and he's got himself another 3 seconds worth of time penalty. But can he get past now on the outside of the AlphaTauri? He's going to head into Sector 3, into the penultimate right-hander. Can he get past? Yes, he can. Before the corner even started, he was past, and he was into P1 on track. And now OP Robbie cannot do anything. He's down into P2, but he's got the benefit of doubt here because Via Marlon, he's got 6 seconds worth of time penalties. OP Robbie only has 3, and Via Marlon is all the way off into the grass now, heading into the final corner. OP Robbie, he's let him by, and now he's into P1. He's got FVR Stefano on his tail, and oh my, it's gone wrong for VIR. 2 penalties for Marlon and a spin on the same lap.
It's a lot of drivers that are now struggling at the circuit as Brothers gets very close to the back of FVR Stefano, tries to make a move into turn number 9, but gets a better exit out of turn number 10. So hold that thought for a moment, because Brothers is now going to go to that inside line into turn number 11, braking very late, just about leaving enough room for each other. And Brothers now has the inside line for turn number 12. Stefano, great defense around the outside at turn number 12, which gives him the inside line for number 13, and he's kept that position. That is an amazing defense there from the FVR driver to stay ahead of Brothers. He's not going to go down without a fight, though. The only team that has more than one driver in the top 10 is that of Team Mentis. They have drivers in P7 and P8. But before I mention that, it's a big mistake from Stefano on the exit of turn number 2. He tries to defend the inside line on Brothers, and he completely dive bombs him into turn 3, makes contact with the Ferrari driver. Hopefully Brothers doesn't have wing damage after that, but Stefano getting the elbows out. He wants to defend this position badly, and the more he does that, and the more he battles hard with the likes of Talent Factory Brothers, the more OP Robbie will be allowed to get away. But Brothers now, he's going to go for another attempt and a bite at the apple around the outside at turn, on the run into turn number 9. Talent Factory Brothers does make the move, and so does G League Chris on NLR Rudy Hullett. He moves up into P4 for G League, doing an amazing job so far. So unfortunate that he has that 3-second time penalty that will cost him a few positions at the end of this Grand Prix.
And Via Marlon actually gets himself the fastest lap of the race. So finally a positive appearing on the top of our screens, which is not a track limits warning. Oh my goodness, OP Robbie, yet another track limits warning, yet another curse from the commentator. And I think that's Brad is getting past, as well as FVR Stefano. He's going to go for it next lap, because that's when the win takes place. And Larati Khalid going for it. Oh, GL Chris back around the inside now. On the outside is GL Chris, and what a move, what a turn of events for those two, and they're battling it out now. Ruddy Gullet on the inside behind the McLaren of FVR Stefano. GL Chris still going at it. Ruddy Gullet getting a bit uneasy with the rear end, and he has been overtaken by GL Chris, but the battle has not ended just yet. 1 lap left to go of racing. OP Robbie, he's going to finish, I think, in P1 on track, but we look down to P2. Bradders, H44, slows down on the final lap of this race into the final few corners. Bradders has made the move. He's taken advantage of OP Robbie, and what a way to end it. OP Robbie down the inside. He's going to go for it. No, he's going to back out of it. Bradders, H44, the Brit, on one of his first races for TF Esports, crossing the line in a fiery red Ferrari, and what a race for Bradders and Talent Factory Esports, certainly showing their talent and their pace. And now it is Bradders getting the win here at Australia, first round of CTC, and what a way to start it for TF. FVR getting P2, and LR Rati Khalid coming in at P3. Then it's ET8 and P4, really showing what they can do here is Mateo, and then it's MLT Kikri in P5. OP Robbie P6, GL Chris entered off in P7 after that penalty, and then we've got TF Kian, Andrew Grimbos, Kiwati Twist, Marlon, and Kiwati Ryan